Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 174 of On the Backs of Gods. I'm your DM, Jillian, and we have our players here today. Same as always, we have Kyle, Matt, Katie, Josh, and Greg. It's been a hot second. You know, sometimes life be doing life things, and it be like that. But today we're here and happy to be here. I think I'll go ahead and go into a quick recap, mostly for my own benefit, and then I think we can jump back into things. Feel like even looking at my notes, I'd be like, what happened last time? Currently, our party is split. Half of them in Dem Woods, in the community that Nyx and Keld grew up in. The rest of the team, Sans, Nana, and Roshan, are in the Brushwood, which is the part of the forest that the people of Dem Woods do not go into. That they have like a basically like, we don't go there, and everything works out because we don't go there. If you go there, you're going to have a bad time. You were able to get some information from the Grand Pot, who is Keld and Nyx's father, who went there once before to save Keld and basically gave the best information he could. You also know that over time, about a year's span recently, the Grand Pot and the Ladle informed you that it feels like the forest is like kind of beginning to breach its borders and is reaching out further. But there has been no issue in town. The issue in town mostly around corruption increasing, but the community has adapted by now hiring rangers and mercenaries who sit up in the trees and protect the perimeter. Currently, two of you get to sleep in beds and eat warm food, protected by this circle of mercenaries in the home of the childhood home of Keld and Nyx, while Russ, now recently joining Team Woods, make their way looking for water crimson, which is a plant, and which will maybe give them some friends and some poison, unclear. And also looking for somebody who's been described as the manifestation of the forest, of the darkness, of the unknown of the woods. And we are looking for that person to possibly help save Nyx from the curse that now begins to cover her body and will eventually kill her. There was no other way to fix her. This is the only way. There's no other way. And also, I guess we're on the lookout for Rose, who fell from the sky and landed in the forest. And she's probably somewhere around here. But currently, when in the forest, it seems to affect you negatively mentally, except for Keld and Nyx, who seem to be having a good old time, unaffected by the forest. And Keld especially, who now can look into the forest and lead, as long as he trusts the forest and lets the forest, basically tell him where to go. And he does not have to make wisdom saves. Russ tapped in. Roshan doesn't have hair back at home. These are the important things. The important things I remember. Last time you just fought against increasing challenges of the wood, things that wish you dead. Even though the forest seems interested in pushing you forward, Keld, that has not stopped it from trying to kill you. But you push forward and you make it through another day. And you all settle up in the night. And you are able to, everybody, get a long rest. Hooray! Hooray for everybody. But I'm going to start with, sorry, I scrolled up. There we go. I'm going to start with Team Dem Woods, the people who are at home relaxing. I just want to check in with y'all real quick. Another night passes back in this warm, comfy home. Roshan, you lose another level of exhaustion.
Huzzah!
Nana, you haven't actively been doing anything to alleviate your current affliction. You've been distracting yourself with work, but I don't believe that to be good for mental health, to be fair. But you are currently not in the woods. It is the brushwood that causes this damage. So because of your low wisdom save, I'm going to pick which affliction leaves. And of course, it's going to be jittery. So you are no longer easily startled, but you still do have the compulsion. You must continue to take things.
Okay.
That
All right.
that is
Hmm.
still true and canon,
Mm,
because why would I get rid of that one?
God damn it.
Why would I pick that? That would be very silly of me.
Mm.
Um,
Nana has so many useless things in her pockets and bag.
yeah.
She's gonna have
Imagine
to
if you
give
could
them all
find some
back
good stuff.
later.
We'll see. Um, so what I'm currently looking for from this portion of the team is your plans for the day, if you have any, while you kind of are on call, is currently where you are, is kind of waiting to see when you get like put back in off the bench. You can
Mhm.
see when you exit your rooms that it looks like a lot of granola-like treats have been set up on the counter, and have been building up over the last couple days. So it looks like it's like these are things that you're probably intended to take with you.
Okay,
Um,
cool, cool.
but it is early morning. This is, you have just woken up. I just want to know your intents. I want to know both of your intents. That's all. Or if there's something you do the second your eyes open, you know?
I think when Nana wakes up and and notices that like I think maybe somebody like bangs a shutter somewhere close by and she doesn't jump and she's like, "Oh, thank God." And she goes to like get up and do her normal thing and she notices she's putting shit in her pockets. She's like, "Oh, fuck. No." Okay. And so she's tried to process, like, okay, so clearly yesterday wasn't the right game plan. Let's try and figure out another game plan. Um, I think she's really just probably going to head down ultimately to the stables, probably to just take care of Thick Biscuit for a while. Um, and just have a bit of a think unless Roshan catches her and pulls her to one side. I don't think she's like making a beeline. She's not trying to avoid anybody.
And I think Roshan wakes up feeling more energetic than he has in like a week, but still a little bit foggy. And I think he's like, I'll try anything at this point, even running, and tries to take a lap around the village to try and clear some of the brain fog. It won't work because it's exhaustion, but
Yeah.
that's what he wants to do. And then I
Go take a
think
leaf out of Russ's book.
once he really feels the sun on his face and knows that the people in the woods will feel the sun on them too, will maybe reach out to them.
Okay. So currently
Otherwise,
these are the uh-huh.
also go to Auntie Alligators and see what's up.
Nice. So these are the intents. Both of you have just like woken up, gone into the kitchen, are able to acquire breakfast. That's where you are. I just wanted to get your
Cool.
intents.
Okay.
Meanwhile, definitely less of a warm, comfy home and more of a freezing, damp forest that affects you mentally just by existing in it. Um, the remaining party, including Russ, sit at the base of a tree, blindfolded so they are not tempted to look into the darkness, waiting to feel any ray of warmth from the sun so that they can continue their journey. Fen waits quietly, blindfolded, as everybody is now kind of starting to get into that state where you start to all wake up within kind of the same kind of window of time, starting to be more aware of your surroundings, even though you are still blindfolded, bit sore. Kel, you had a pretty good night's sleep. Uh, Dream, not terrible. It was just you running around as a kid and having a good time. So, Kelt doing great. Um, Nyx, throughout the night, Russ was constantly in motion. Like it seems he was struggling to get comfortable. And at one point, he moves from like looking for a comfortable sleeping position into a purely meditative position. Like he fully switches up and is like, I'm doing this now. and is focusing on meditating for a large portion of the night. You can hear kind of varying levels and rhythms of breathing from him. There's moments where he seems like he is really working on taking deep breaths and controlling his breathing and, all of his solar panel work, as you were, and, a lot of that for him. And it's just long, deep breaths and occasionally just like sharp inhales and like shaky breaths, and then composing himself again and pushing forward with meditation. And eventually it seems that he calms in the night. And as you all are waiting for the feeling of heat from the sun, which is very subtle, I will say. It's a very subtle sensation that you all are kind of getting used to. It's just the tiniest bit of rays upon you, which is honestly easier without the bubble. Nyx, you are blindfolded at this time. You feel Russ like stir, like he's waking up or beginning to move again, and seems to be breathing normally compared to what you were hearing from some of the night. He leans over and gives you like a kiss on the cheek, and you can hear that he uses like the tree to stand up. It takes you a second as you were waking up. You're in the process of rousing. His cheek is wet. He is not wearing his blindfold. And that's when you hear foot hit the ground. Russ runs. He is booking it through the forest. I'd like everybody to roll initiative.
Oh God. Oh my God.
That means Russ too. Russ gets a surprise round as everybody is blindfolded and sitting. Russ is going to move 120 feet.
Bye.
Okay. 20 and up. Okay. 15 to 20.
17.
Okay. 10 to 15.
And
13.
Hey. Oh, 13. My hands are shaking. I'm so nervous. And then Fen, who's like, what?
speaking of Jillian, before we get into this, because I might need it if things go really badly, what effect did Fenn's conditions have on his hit point regain for
Oh my God, how exciting. So, you still have that effect before like, like when the long rest takes place. So it is still that effect that happens, but you are now down to just nausea. So going forward, that won't be an issue, but it was for that long rest, still half.
Okay, thank you.
20. Okay. And here is one half of my boon for the team, because you guys earned a boon from me last time. If you think you would have been like, oh shit, and immediately jumped into action, I will say that you are standing so that you do not lose half movement. Like on his surprise round, you guys are able to get to standing if you think you would have been like, oh fuck, and stood up. But that is up to you if you think you would have reacted in this way. But that is part of my boon if you would like it. Russ books it. Full speed running into the forest. Nyx, you are up. Keld, you're on deck. Nyx, you are currently standing and blindfolded if you so wish.
Yeah, I think she'd be because she is the one that felt that something was wrong.
Yeah.
So 120 feet away.
Yep.
Hmm. Would it be difficult to fly through these woods as a giant bird? Lower down. Hmm.
100%.
Oh, it's fine. The tiny owl has 60 feet per round. It's fine. That's still double what I have. I'd like to wild shape into my very creepy Patu owl and start flying after this man.
All right. You stand and you are now this owl with this large, wide mouth and wide eyes. And the blindfold just sort of slips off and is just no longer part of you. And you're going to move 60 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. You can see that Russ is just running. Like it is, you are watching branches like cut across his face, and he is not thinking of safety or even direction, perhaps. He's just running. That is your turn, Nyx. You are now 60 feet away from him. Keld, if you would like to be up and standing, you can. As you remove your blindfold, you do look at your armor next to you. You're welcome to take 10 minutes to put it on if you're so inclined, or you can start moving. Starts putting shit on.
God.
Gotta take his time.
You guys got it, right? Hmm.
He'll needs his armor, so
You will lose 10 minutes.
10 minutes. God. How bad do I
So,
need that armor?
yeah. I would say if you want to put your armor on, I'm going to take you out of the initiative.
Mm. I think what I'm going to do, instead of put on armor, wait, can I take an action or am I just standing?
Oh, this is your full turn. You are standing. You exist in the space. Russ is 120 feet away. It is your turn.
Okay, that seems bad. So if I'm able, I'd like to cast plant growth right in the area where he is and maybe a little bit in front of him because the reach is 150 feet.
Ooh, sure.
So maybe I can slow him down a little.
Plant growth. Does it make that area difficult terrain?
Let me double check that it does because that's what I want it to do.
I'm getting it. Um,
Pretty sure it halves movement, and it can be stacked.
Okay, there we go. A creature moving through the area must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot it moves.
Oh, more than halves.
Why would
Yeah,
they
damn.
word it like that?
I
That's
know. I'm just
gross.
like,
Ew.
It's very wordy.
Why the fuck would they do that?
so extra slow. You take 1 foot forward and, or I guess 4 feet forward and 3 feet back.
Oh God, that's nasty. Sure, you are fully welcome to do that. What does your plant growth look like?
Well, I suppose in this case, it's very contrasting to the natural plant life. It probably looks more like we were outside back in dim woods. Things are actually green and nice and
Okay. Plants that you recognize begin to burst forth from the frozen soil and just encircle a large area, a really large area around Russ. And would you like to do any movement?
Sure.
Okay, so for this, I'm going to need numbers from everybody if you are doing movements.
Numbers?
Yeah, so are you doing like your full 30 feet? And if you have something that isn't 30, please say that number at me. Or if you are not doing your full movement, please say that number at me.
I'll go ahead and just move my normal 30 feet.
Okay. You are 90 feet away as you leave your armor behind. It's now Russ's turn. What a pickle. His intent is to run. And that has
Well,
been
quit that.
impeded quite drastically. One moment. I'm just giving him his best chance to live his best life in the woods forever. Okay. All right. Russ moving forward. Nix, as you approach, you can hear Russ yelling. As you are now flying and moving, and Russ is screaming at the top of his lungs. You want deals, witch? And is just yelling out into the forest. I'll give you what you like. And is going to use Step of the Wind. As he takes a step forward and just feels the plants pulling at his legs. He is going to switch tactics. This will slow him down, but not as much as this fucking plant shit. Keld, astounding work as Step of the Wind. Russ moves forward, feels himself impeded, and is going to jump. He is going to jump and reach for a branch, and he is going to move through the branches of the trees. I'm going to take away a chunk of his movement, but he did use Step of the Wind. So he
Russ of the
will...
jungle. Watch out for
Russ
that
of the-
tree.
Oh my God, watch out. It's probably going to kill you. It's a literal deadly tree. We're going to use everything to move.
Watch out for that deadly man-eating tree.
It's one key, blah, blah, blah. 140. I'll take away part of it. So now I'll take away the bonus. There we go. As he jumps and grabs onto a branch and pulls himself up, like his nails scrape against the bark, and it is possible he is going to leave some nails behind as he pulls himself up and keeps running. He is going to... I need my calculator. Russ uses his whole turn for running and yelling at something in the woods to engage him. That is his turn. Fen, you are up. He is
So
240 feet away from you.
as much as Fen was trying to keep an ear out for things, he's still caught a little off guard by this. Here's some commotion, lifts the corner of his blindfold, sees that there is now a bird chasing a blur through the woods, and he used half of his 45 foot of first round movement to stand up from prone, and then the other 82 and a half feet of movement from action and bonus action dashing to try and close some of that distance.
How many without the half?
It's his full movement is 82 and a half feet.
So 82.
Having used half of his action or half of his movement to stand up.
Okay. Fen, you stand up and use everything you have to just start running.
I just imagine Ben running past Nyx in bird form. Just there goes this bird that got a little bit of a head start, and Fen passes her anyways.
And Fen, I'm going to be a little loosey-goosey with all this for our own sakes. Fen, at the end of this turn, you make your way forwards, and this new growth from the ground begins to try and like latch onto your legs and try and slow your pace. So you are now officially in the plant growth circle. And you can see that in the distance, Russ is taken to the trees.
Cool.
And that is your turn. Nyx, you are up. Russ is 180 feet away from you.
Yeah, the bird has 60 feet, so we'll go 120
All right.
and make terrible bird sounds.
Just terrible, awful, terrible bird sound.
He knows who it is.
You know this bird is upset with you. You know you're married to this bird.
True.
Nyx, you close a pretty sizable gap. You are 60 feet away. As you are now weaving through the trees, trunks, and branches, as Russ is just scraping through and occasionally will like slip and has to like pull himself back up until he gets out of the radius of this spell, which will probably be in the next round. That is Nyx's turn. Keld, you are up. You see, just for ease, you see that Russ takes to the trees and that Fen hits your plant growth area.
I didn't take that into account.
Fen, you're too fast.
You're so fast.
I mean, Russ was still slowed. Russ lost 40 feet of movement from doing all of that. But, and a key point. What would you like to do? You can drop concentration at any point as casually as you would like, if it is concentration, which I can only assume it is. Now, hold on. Is it not concentration?
It doesn't say it is.
Hey, this just exists in the space.
Though there is something I didn't see when I first cast it. You can exclude one or more areas of any size within the spell's area. So technically I could have created like a little just path. But that seems like it would have been counterintuitive.
Yeah, Russ then gets on the path and then runs through it.
That
It's
seems
like
dumb.
awesome. Thanks, man.
If you had managed
So-
to put it up like right in front of him, like maybe he wouldn't have had time to veer off to the path, but
Right.
So it's up to you, Keld. It seems that you can't drop this. Am I wrong? It's
Well.
very funny. I think I like that it's just there now. It's Keld's like, I've seemed to have fucked myself.
I really fucked us, guys.
That's very funny. That's what I'm ruling right now is that you cannot drop this. Anybody's welcome to talk to me later.
No, the plants grew. How are you going to make them
Yeah, you
ungrow?
can't
They
tell them to
grew.
leave. What do you want to do? He is 210 feet away from you.
God, he's so far away.
Hey.
Just check. I don't know if it's possible for me to catch up to him unless he eventually stops. Guys, I'm gonna go put on my armor.
Held stops running altogether and is
Can't
going
be-
to is going to turn around. You
he
use
wasn't
your
going to win in a foot race with these two.
It's whatever you want. You go back to your armor. You are now very alone in the woods, Keld. Everyone is gone. You basically turn back to go for your armor. Look back. You can't see anyone. You are alone.
Jeez.
Anything else?
And that's fine.
Okay. I'm taking you out of the initiative. Unless you hear something and you're like, put me back in, coach. I have one gauntlet on.
No.
Stop it. Okay, Kel, you go back. You are occupied for 10 minutes, which is so many rounds that you are no longer in the initiative. So you start trying to put on your armor alone by yourself. That is Keld's turn, and it is now Russ's turn. And everything he says, madness. Calling for this hag to come out and talk to him, that he will make a deal right now. Doesn't matter what it is. Asks for death, asks for pain, asks for torment. There is nothing off the list of what he will give in this moment now for Nyx. And it's just a rambling of reveal yourself and I will pull the nerves from my flesh individually, each nerve, just constant barrage of things he is willing to do in this moment. Nyx, with your perception and an owl's perception, tag teaming this, you can see that this smoke billows from his mouth, just a plume of smoke rising up and past him. What's your passive insight?
20.
Okay. It's interesting. I don't believe you've seen the smoke before. So the smoke is new. You have no context for it. The only person who has context for it is like 300 feet back, and he's putting on his armor. He's busy. He doesn't want that 10 AC. And valid. This smoke it doesn't seem to be rising naturally, almost as if it has like an intent of its own, and it is pulling against the direction Russ is running. This smoke rises up from his mouth and then like trails behind him as if trying to grip the air and pull itself back and away. It's as if the smoke doesn't want to be there for this, that it doesn't want this. And with that insight, and you're 60 feet away before he makes his big move. You guys are kind of on similar playing fields as he's now in the trees as well. He like is, looking for a new branch to jump upon and like looks over his shoulder and sees you approaching. Now, you've seen mania in this man's eyes. You've seen it before. He does not hide emotion well. You have never seen this. You have never seen these eyes. They are foggy and distant. They are an eyes of a person you do not recognize. This is not Russ's mania. This is something different. And now he's going to move. I'm going to roll luck checks. Do you guys want high or low? Nyx, you're the closest. I'll ask. High or low?
What dice are you using? Because if it's his
I'm
dice,
using-
we'll go high.
Yeah, Russ's dice. So,
He likes to roll high on his dice. So.
yeah. So you want the dice to roll high for this luck check. That's a 17. Russ is going to use everything he has to move in this situation, though the trees are not being as advantageous for him. So he is going to lose another 40 feet. He will use another key for Step of the Wind. Oh, my key. And he will move 120. Irrelevant. And that is his turn, running into the forest, no regard to stop. There is no intent to stop. Actually, I'm going to also be kind. I'm going to have him roll an acrobatics check to see if he loses even more speed as a kindness or a detriment. He's going to keep the speed that he just went. That is Russ's turn as he continues to run. Fen, you are up.
As Fen sees Russ jump into the trees and swing like a rhesus monkey. And then the ground reaches up to grab him. He puts two and two together and realizes that if Russ can't run here or doesn't want to, he probably can't either. So he's going to take a page out of Russ's book and he's going to misty step into the trees, but not like swinging monkey style. He's gonna get himself up on top of the branches and run on them. So
Okay.
bonus
Aiming
action to
for
misty
more
step,
height.
action to dash, and movement to dash. So that's 30 feet for misty step, 35 feet for movement, and 35 feet for at dash. So 100 feet total.
Okay. Go ahead and give me acrobatics.
Cool.
You
That's a
said
thing
100
I
feet?
should be able to do. It's a dirty 20.
Okay. You are not impeded by your current new situation, especially if you put yourself in a pretty advantageous spot to be doing this. Russ does not seem to be thinking as clearly, though he is still moving very, very quickly. But he is losing movement, which is also scary that he's still hoofing it. Okay, you've made your way into the trees. Anything else, Finn?
That's all Fen can do. So just trying to close that distance.
Okay. Nyx, it is your turn. He is
Yes.
180 feet away.
I damn. The spell I need to use is only 60 feet, so I have to do the 120 again to get closer to him. Because
Okay. Once again, you are at 60 feet. You, at this moment, I guess, are hoping that he maybe missteps,
yeah,
struggles to push forward as quickly as he is moving, or runs out of key,
yeah, it's just
which will
keeping
slow
up
him
with him
down
at the
a
moment.
good bit. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. You are 60 feet away and just watching the smoke billow out of his mouth as he continues to run and scream, pushing forward into the darkness. And there are moments where, even though you are in this owl form, you can feel like, your heart sink as sometimes he will step out of view and the darkness of the wood intensifies. And it's like you lose him for split seconds. The two of you who have decided to pursue, while we're here, I need another wisdom saving throw. As Russ has now made such a distance, you are now looking out into the forest.
23.
21.
Okay. You both push through. Honestly, there's no room for mental illness at this juncture as you continue to run and fly through the woods as fast as you possibly can. Keld growing further and further away. Anywho, it is now Russ's turn. He's gonna do what he's been doing, baby. He has to find this hag. He has to make this deal. So he's gonna roll acrobatics. That's very good. He is going to use. Let's do a. Oh. Only really sees this owl currently. So I'm going to save a key point and not use Step of the Wind. So he is going to move. Still a good amount of movement. He is going to move 80 feet. Yeah, he's going to move 80 feet this time as he searches, kind of stops, kind of goes sideways a bit as he's looking for something. He is waiting for something. He is scanning the horizon. He is looking. He wants something to find him. So he's going to move 80 feet as he kind of halts for a moment to find purchase and direction. And then is going to jump down from the tree and push forward. So he is going to move 80 feet. That is his turn. Fen, you are up.
How far am I from him?
You are now 258. Normal numbers.
All right. I'm going to use all of my movement and my action and my bonus action to move 105 feet closer to him. And I'm going to shout, Russ the Gold, I challenge you to combat.
Okay. You are now 100. How many feet did you say? One more
Moved
time.
105 feet.
Okay. Your numbers are just wild to look at. Just like it's like, okay, 153 feet away. Fen, your voice carries through the forest, trying to rally Russ to fight you. Turn around, come fight me, you won't. As Russ bolts into the forest, that is your turn. Nyx, you are up. You are 140 feet away from him.
All right, so I still got to do the 120. Got it.
Yeah.
80 feet's not close enough. But now I'm closer to scream bird calls even louder at this man. Stop.
Stop.
1 second.
Give
It
some
just
help.
seems
Should put him
How are
at
you?
20 feet away.
okay. For the calculator was not giving me that, and I'm like, how is he further away? It's
Ah.
like, there's no way he's further now. So you are 20 feet away and aggressively squawking at him. No recognition. You hear the call from behind. This smoke billowing from his mouth, reaching back towards this owl. Russ is gone. He is running. Whatever is in this body is running. Whatever impulse or direction is in this body is running. But you are 20 feet away. Would you like to maintain your form currently?
Oh yeah, just in case he goes really far away.
Just in case. Which is, valid, as that's kind of his intent currently.
It's free to drop this. So
It's true.
why would I do that now?
It's not a bonus action to drop wild shape. Oh,
No.
you're polymorphed, right?
No,
Are you
it's wild
polymorphed?
shape. It's wild
Oh.
shape.
Wasn't that
It
lucky?
might be a bonus action.
I'll let
Either
you
way,
check that out. While
Either way, I only
Who
need an
cares?
action.
I just need an action, friend. As you all move forwards, it's as if the trees now are so very aware of all of you. And it's as if they lean in to watch and look and observe and not exactly get in the way, but are so interested in being involved as Russ is bulldozing through this space and just being cut apart by the branches that lean in out of interest. The two of you have more wherewithal where you can avoid a lot of them, but still you are getting just these little whiplashes across your cheeks. It is now Russ's turn. This owl is 20 feet away. Needs must. We got to get away from it.
Just
So-
an owl.
It's just an owl. You know what?
He doesn't know me, apparently.
You don't know me. I'm an owl. I'm gonna have Russ roll to see if he views this owl as a threat or not, because the owl has moved in very, very close. So we're gonna see if he is going to book it when this owl is entered within 20 feet of him. Okay. He is going to move another 80 feet, as he is not using any of his extra bits right now, as he does not see this owl as a threat to his speed at this time. So he is going to move 80 feet. That is his turn. Fen, you are up. 3.
Yeah, Fen's got to Got to use movement to try and keep pace with these two. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of us really separated in the woods here. So,
You guys don't want to be separated in the woods?
just another 105 feet forward, please. And thank you.
105. Okay.
And more
So
taunts.
120. Fight me, you won't, as you just run through the woods also yelling. Because if he's yelling, there's no point in stealth or hiding, or it's like whatever's here hears us, if so inclined. So now he is 100 feet ahead of Nyx. Nyx, we are back to your turn as Fen is just doing his damnedest to catch up to this and what is going on.
He's only 100 feet away.
Yeah.
So I'll use my 60 feet to fly closer. So that puts me at 40.
Yep.
Bonus action to drop the wild shape and cast hold person on this man.
Okay. What am I rolling?
Wisdom save.
What's the DC?
20.
Okay. What does he need to get? 20. He needs to get an 18 or higher on the dice. I wish I could roll in the open and I can't. Because how thematic and fun. Okay. You watch as Russ runs through the woods, begging for a variety of deaths, for his bones to be picked clean, for him to be sun bleached somewhere in a field. And his body begins to slow and lock up, as if running through molasses for just a second longer. And his joints tighten. And currently, he is held.
How does it feel, motherfucker?
I'm fine.
As he has done it to so many people before.
Do it to me. You won't. Hold me.
You
Nyx
won't,
will.
coward.
I just did.
I'll do it again. Russ is currently held. He gets saves at the ends of his turns. I can only hope.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, then you might see me be a little crotchety. Be like, ooh. This man stands immobile in the middle of the woods. Anything else from you, Nyx?
Well, that's it.
His turn. He is trying to bark out words of engagement through a jaw that is slowly locking. Real shame when you're not a... So what does hold person entail? No action, no movement.
They are paralyzed.
Ah, incapacitated. Gotcha.
Sure, I don't know why they couldn't put that, but it says paralyzed on the spell.
Okay. Okay. It has extra. It has more things too. Russ is currently held. The end of his turn, he will be rolling to break through the hold person. I see this being a problem even if we break through. Okay. We are still held at the end of his turn. Fen, you are up.
Gotta get there. 105 feet.
You are almost there. You're definitely in the circle. 128 minus 105. You are 23 feet away from Russ. So you are closer than Nyx now, but Russ is just Just frozen in place. Cool. Nyx, your turn.
I'll go actually, should just get right up there and use my whole movement and dash to be in the space.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to do as you make your way to Russ, who is now frozen in place? Gentle cuts across his arms and face. He looks forward, eyes unblinking, just like mist. Pupils small and distant. Eyes you don't recognize. And he stares forward with so much intent as this smoke, not held, continues to pull from his mouth. And as you approach, it almost like it's like trying to like encompass you. Like it reaches out and tries to wrap around you, but it has no noticeable effect on you.
Yeah, we have to get him back to town, like immediate. One of us is probably should go with him to make sure he doesn't run back in.
I don't know if I should leave you alone here. Just open a tree, we'll push him through.
And then he can run back into the woods if
I'll
someone
tie him
with
up first. Somebody will find him.
It is 6 seconds.
Okay.
It's now Russ's turn. I'm gonna roll 2 dice here, not for the same thing. One for something different. Okay. You are now next to Russ. Fen, you are about 23 feet away, a normal movement in D&D. And you two kind of are like, we gotta put him through a tree. And Nyx, you feel a hand kind of like grip onto your shoulder next to you as he looks at you. It is the end of his turn. He is now moving. But you feel something brush against your back. I need a dexterity saving throw.
I'm great. I'm wonderful at those. Yeah, 16 is not terrible.
Terrible.
That's too many dice, though.
Is it? Terrible. Nyx, you take 21 points of damage as a branch from behind you slams down onto your shoulder. And you are forced prone. So you take this damage, and the branch just hangs next to Russ and recedes. It does not seem interested in attacking Russ at this juncture. Meanwhile, Keld is putting his armor on just because I think it's funny to circle back for a second. Roshan and Nana are eating breakfast. So the forest is now going and moving in this initiative. Nyx, you are pushed away by this branch. And all the trees lean in, interested, watching, waiting to see what happens. Then it's your turn. You are 23 feet away. I'm gonna, it's closer to 5. We're gonna say you're 25 feet away to make things make sense.
Fenn's got a lot of momentum. And
Run
he's just
fast.
gonna carry that into a whole he's gonna just full on tackle Russ. That's
Okay.
uh
All right. This is a grapple. You run full speed at Russ, like somebody has to stop him from moving. Go ahead and roll athletics. He is also going to roll athletics.
So 15?
I'm trying to see one thing. Sorry, guys, Russ has pages and pages of bullshit. Does any of it do anything? Not really. Um, okay, that's what I thought. 17 on his roll. As you bulldoze into him and sort of just like the fluidity of his body, he kind of like catches you in the back and then turns to the side as you are sort of pushed past him. You are still in melee with him, but you do not grapple him. Do you have 2 attacks? You could try again.
Yeah, gonna try that again.
You push your heel into the ground and push back into him.
A dirty 20 that time.
27 that time.
Okay.
He is fighting against Russ physically like this with him not restraining himself. Dude's built. He is very strong. And he kind of like, you lean into him, trying to get purchase on him. And he is just keeping you at bay. And you are looking now into his eyes and you are watching this smoke billow from his mouth. It is a sight.
Fenn's gonna, yeah, Fen is gonna stand there and look him in the eye and try and get him to do what he's gonna do to me instead of Nyx.
Okay. It is now Nyx's turn. Russ hasn't gone anywhere yet. You are right next to him. Everybody's right next to him. Have fun. You are prone, so you can use half of your movement to get up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. With that, would there be a tree within 15 feet after standing?
Roll a luck check. It is going to be a very easy luck check, but you know.
No, just gotta decide if we're gonna try to push him through a tree. That's a 2.
That is low. I'm sorry, not within 15 feet. No, more like a 20 or 25.
Wow, guess we have to cast hold person on this man again so he doesn't run.
Stop running. Sure. You can use hold person again. DC 20, add 2. Yeah. He's going to use Indomitable. You add to this too. Okay. He is held. Nyx, you stand, and once again, Russ's body locks up. You can see that his hand has now gone for the Morning Star, and his eyes are fully focused on Fen. That's like he was fully about to just unload this on Fen. Anything else next?
I don't have any good bonus actions, no.
I don't know what a bonus action is.
My bonus action is spreading spores, and that never works on anybody, so.
Take this 3 damage, scrub. Russ is going to take his turn. At the end of his turn, he is going to attempt to break through the hold person. That is an 18 on the dice. He is unheld.
I would like to use my reaction at this point because it's the end of his turn
to back
to
up,
backpedal, like backpedal up to a tree if I can.
Yeah, you can bump into a tree. How many feet? Do you get to backpedal?
Half my movement, which would be, if we're rounding to, that'd be 15 feet if we're rounding to 30 feet of movement, but I got 35.
Well, yeah. So by golly, you can't reach a tree, but you can start moving towards one.
Yeah, I'll get as close as I can to a
Yeah,
tree.
you are pretty close to a tree. Luck says you guys were in a vague clearing for
Even though I got hit
Uh,
by one.
listen, that tree like leaned over and was like gave you the
Mm.
skiddly bops from up high and then leaned
Wow.
back. I'm opening that tree particularly. Um Fen, you back up. Does that prevent
Yeah, prevents opportunity attacks.
opportunity attacks?
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know. Good to know. That is the end of Russ's turn. So it is now Fen's turn, who is now about 15 feet back.
Like to use the rest of my movement to keep backpedaling until I'm back to back with a tree, and I would like to ready an action. That action is hopefully is if Russ rushes me, I can just sidestep him and shove him into this tree. If someone else picks up on the fact that that's what I'm trying to do here,
Sure.
that's
You
the
see
plan.
Fen standing in front of a tree. That's the current
Yeah,
scenario.
just bracing, and like he wants to like sweep the leg and like trip and shove into a tree. Like that's all he that's all he wants to do.
Okay. Nyx, it's your turn.
Yeah. Am I able to hold an action to cast the transport via plants for if
Yeah.
Russ gets to that tree?
I will say though, I am a bastard. Even if you
know.
don't use it, I will burn that spell slot.
Sweet.
But you can hold it like and cast it when you'd like. But at the end of by the time your next turn, that spell slot will be used no matter what.
Mm.
Because I'm bad. Because I'm not nice.
I've never been one to keep spell slots.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, you hold, hoping that this scenario works. All right. There are about to be a lot of dice involved with this plan. This is a dice heavy plan. Am I still held? There's so much going on.
No,
Am I
you
just still
said you
chilling?
broke free.
Cool. Okay. I was just like,
If you were held, I would have no reason to hold this action.
I would have
just slowly
gone-
roll him towards the tree.
pushed him forward, Jillian. Okay. Russ's body goes lax and then straightens back up again and focuses. Nyx, with your passive insight, it is like watching a puppet with too many strings, with too many hands. There's something moving Russ in a direction, and there's something else lifting him and moving him in the opposite direction. The thing moving him forward is winning. Whatever is trying to pull him back is not strong enough to pull him back, but it is trying. And you can see that it's like this smoke that is trying to lift and move, but it cannot get enough purchase on Russ to move him itself. Russ stands. You know, I like contested bullshit. Fen, what contested bullshit would you like to put against me to get Russ to run at you? And then I will pick something to go against whatever you pick that I think makes sense.
I mean, in actuality, I think that the thing that would probably trigger him the worst is if Fen just started like scratching his skin some more. But like,
I'll give you advantage actually if you do that bullshit. I'm gonna be honest.
Do that. Start talking shit about Sindri.
And you are gonna have to do like a roll you're not good at, but you will get advantage.
okay.
Up to
I
you.
make it a charisma roll, which is just a straight roll for me.
Yeah, this
you
is
know,
persuasion to
ju-
get him to come over there.
or
You have
intimidation.
advantage.
Intimidation, like
Sure.
because I'm good, whatever. Like
You
just
won't.
yeah.
Okay, intimidation advantage.
The higher of the two is a 16.
Okay. Russ is going to roll insight.
Okay.
We need. You have a 16. we need, I'll let a tie go to you. So he needs a 7 or lower, which is feasible, as I have watched this dice roll garbage in between the stuff to, actually do things. Russ straightens up, and you've watched like the smoke try to like pull his head back as he straightens back up again. He turns his body to run, and it is the sound of nails on fucking skin over and over again. This fucking clawing sound, this ear-wrenching abomination that's been going on for days now. This unending torment is right over there. With a 4 on the dice, he will fully run towards Fen. This is not the end of the rolls. Russ is fully running in that direction. Nyx, that is your trigger. Are you pulling up the tree?
Yeah, that makes sense. He's
That
running
he is-
towards it.
Yeah, you're like, this is the best bet. As Fen, you can feel like magic tickle at the back of your neck as you are kind of backlit by this tree rending itself open. Nyx, you look in that direction and you can see the tree wants nothing to fucking do with that. As it tries to claw itself closed, you see the bark attempting to pull itself shut again. You are fighting against this tree that does not want to participate in this. It likes what's happening. It wants this to happen. And Fen, I will let you roll acrobatics, as this is your prepared action to trip more than anything. He will do athletics. Go ahead and give me acrobatics.
23.
Okay. Okay. This is a 50-50 dice roll. Purely 50-50. God. Then give me athletics.
14.
He makes his way to you, running full speed, eyes blank. You move and try and move yourself to the side, get out of the way, push him through, get him out of here, get him out of the woods. And he slams into the corner of the opening of this thing, pushes off of it, and uses his action to push you through. And you do. Fen is pushed back 10 feet through the tree. Where'd you make the tree go?
Oh, it would have been right by the house. That's been the spot.
Perfect. So, Fen, you are now standing in them dem woods for a hot second. And it's like, God, it'd be great if I had push attack, because then I would do a stunning strike. Russ steps through the tree and will use his next attack to attack you now, as he has pushed you through into dem woods and has stepped out to pursue you. And now he's going to start swinging. He uses one of his attacks. Okay, one of them is going to hit as he steps through, and you are just like, it's like light, and then the morning star comes down as you step back and out of the way. The second one flies, and it is going to make contact with your body. You are going to take... You're going to take 5 damage, but I need a Constitution saving throw.
I don't mind that. 18.
Okay. He sees you are not stunned. Action surge. He is going to take more attacks. Okay, that is 3 attacks that are going to hit. Wait, what's your AC? One of them's
My AC is currently 17.
okay. All 3 of them are currently hitting.
Okay.
So on the first one, you take 6 points of damage. Constitution saving throw.
That's going to stun me because it's a natural 1.
Okay. You feel as this morning star makes contact with the center of your chest, your body locks up around you. The signals in your brain start firing crazy as you try to inhale and focus and try to get your feet to move. Russ stops. And he's still going to do those 2 other attacks, which are now at advantage. One of them is now a nat 20. So one of them still hits. One of them is now a nat 20. Was hoping for a nice little nat 20 earlier. Okay, so you take 10 points of damage on the next hit. Oof. And then 16 on the one after that. And with my last key point, I'm going to use Step of the Wind to bonus action go through the tree. I don't think I used a bonus action thing.
Can I use my reaction to cast Hold Person while he's through the tree?
No.
Dang.
I love it. Please ask me for shit. I will not allow.
I have Warcaster. I just want to use it once.
Yeah, I don't think you can do Hold Person with Warcaster, and he did not. Well, he did do an opportunity. He did trigger an opportunity attack. If you'd like to attack him
through the
you'd
tree.
like to do damage. Well, it would have been as he stepped past you. So I don't know if Nyx would have done this then.
No.
And you used your reaction to open the tree. So no.
Yeah.
After full
good.
walk around.
Just had to check. I could try.
Yeah, please check. Please always check. Just fully lays in to Fed and then does not have to move far to step back into the forest. And now he just stands lit by this tree, illuminated, watching as Fen is unable to move. That is Russ's turn. Fen, you are stunned. You are standing next to Nyx and Keld's childhood home, and the air is so clear and the sun is so warm and the weight of the world, though you are in combat and stunned, the weight of the world is lifted so clearly, so viscerally. It is astounding to step out of this woods. And you currently can't step back.
What are the conditions of stunned?
No nothing, I believe. I believe the conditions of stunned are no nothing, but I can double check. I will certainly check. As a kindness. Is there something you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, there's a spell that only has a verbal component. Mac just posted a stunned creature is incapacitated, can't move, and can only speak falteringly.
You can't take actions or use reactions. So
be a bonus action.
I've done that shit before, but it says you speak falteringly. I don't know if your verbal component would be efficient. A non-verbal spell, maybe.
Fen's gonna try to try his best to bonus action Misty Step through that tree before it closes.
See, I'm setting up a terrible precedent for myself if I let you roll for this. But I think maybe I will. How about this is fighting against the stun. Give me another Constitution saving throw. This is going to be a high DC. Honestly, I'm not sure if your stuff adds up to it or not, but I have a number in mind. I can't hear you. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. 18 on the die. I have a +2 to Constitution, so Constitution saving throws. So it's a 20, dirty 20.
Okay.
So if you're not sure if my shit adds up to it, then it doesn't.
It's possible that it doesn't, but maybe could have. In this case, it does not. As Fen, you try to push through, and it is faltering words as you try to get your mouth to move through the stun, and you just aren't able to do it quick enough, is the issue. It is at the end of your turn. Nyx. Russ stands before this tree, staring at Fen. And you can tell he's about to go. And now you see that the smoke has shifted directions and is now like trying to lean out through the tree. That the smoke is trying to pull in that direction now.
So it's still open on my turn, we're saying?
You cast it.
Technically, during the reaction. So, I don't know.
Yeah, you cast it on Russ's turn. It'll leave on Russ's turn.
So I have a chance to try to push the man back through the tree.
You do.
I'd
You
like
do
to
have a shot.
very much try.
Okay. You run over there.
Non-existent strength.
You put your hands up. Okay.
Her pincher's up.
I turn into a terrible crab. Okay. You run over there. He is also
Probably-
going to do athletics.
Probably yelling to go through the tree. So hoping that people around will hear as well. Because
So
this right by the house, guys.
it is right by the house. We'll talk about that in a second. Don't worry. Would you like me to tell you what you have to beat?
I'm just rolling strength, right?
You're rolling athletics.
Well, that's +0, so.
If you can show me a nat 20 in this moment, we can talk. Is
All right.
where you and I are at. Show me a nat 20 and we can talk.
Best bet, I'm just basically piggybacking right now.
Yeah.
Hey, it was an 18, so
That's pretty good.
it's a good piggyback.
You
Charge
just jump
complete.
fully onto this man's back, hoping he will stumble through the tree. You just kind of hit into like a wall of a man and are now just on his back. And you watch the magic of the tree door falter and fade. And that's where we're going to take our break. Thanks you guys for being here. We're having a really good time in the woods. So go get a snack and a drink and we'll jump back into this. In a second we get back, we'll see you guys in 10 minutes.
Thank you, 10.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult. We just took our 10-minute break. Currently, we're in the midst of a bit of chaos as Russ has been fully corrupted by the forest and is intent on finding the hag that lives within and making a deal with her to save Nyx's life, seeing that as now the only option. What a good idea. It seems that things that are part of Russ are rebelling against this, including the smoke that billows from his mouth. And after a very good, almost successful attempt to put Russ through the tree at the last second, no cigar, though Russ is now pretty tapped. But on that note, currently the only people in the woods are Nyx and Russ and Keld wherever the fuck he is.
Back at the camp,
Literally back at the
You know
camp.
exactly where I am.
putting on
Uh,
his armor, taking 10 minutes, which means he's like still doing that right now.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do this, and then I'll figure it out as I go. Roshan and Nana, roll initiative.
Alrighty then. Come on, hun.
9.
Nice.
Oh, God. Okay, hun. Par for the course. Yeah, that's about right. A 10?
Okay. Well, that works for me to just continue in order. You know what? Pots. Cool. Nyx, you are now piggybacking on Russ's back. The tree closes in front of you. It is Russ's turn. And Russ is going to start walking. You see he gets like a solid grip on your legs. Like he's now giving you a piggyback.
Oh, no.
And he starts moving. It seems a little less crazed than before, like there's something else going on, but he begins to move in this direction with you. Kind of holding on to you and moving. He's going to move 80 feet from the tree. You do see he is sticking to like, now that he's not, putting everything into this, he is like sneaky. Is not standing right next to trees when he can manage it. Like, once again, you're in a dense forest, kind of hard not to be near a tree, but, he tries not to be as close as he can. But, it's, once again, dense forest. But he just begins walking and holding you. Where are you? I'm ready. Any deal you want. We can handle this now. And just continues to walk through the forest with you. That is Russ's turn. It is now Fenn's turn, I believe, as the stun drops at the end of Russ's turn. Meanwhile, kind of in the grouping of Fenn's turn, from inside having your breakfast, you see a bright light illuminate through the window, in the direction of the tree next to the house. And you see a kind of silhouetted form stumble through, pursued by a second silhouetted form, and just like the light sort of overtakes.
What's going on?
And it is the sound of combat. And then whoop, the light fades. And you can see that one of the figures is still out there.
Nana's on her feet.
Well, she can wait till her
Fine, yes.
Till
Nana
her
will
turn.
wait till her turn, yes.
she can wait, which is honestly
The intent is here.
the intent. But Fen, you watch the tree close in front of you. Ah, it feels amazing to be out here. Feels terrible that this happened, but oh, so amazing to be back in Dem Woods. Is there anything you'd like to do as you stare at this now very closed tree?
A bloodied Fen climbs to a knee, draws his kukri, and just like stabs it into the tree, like just desperately trying to reopen this tree. Like not taking into account where the fuck he is. He might feel a little bit better, but like he just woke up from being stunned. So maybe
Yeah.
that's why he feels better. It doesn't matter. He's desperately trying to get back through that tree.
Okay. Fen goes and immediately starts taking his anger out on this tree, hoping to get through. Hey, Nana, I gotta ask you a question.
Yes.
So, Nana's had a chill couple of days.
Yeah.
This is after she has just woken up and is eating breakfast. Do you think Nana woke up before breakfast in Nixon Keld's childhood home and put on her leather armor before eating?
No.
Thank you. You have no armor on.
That
Weapons
is
are easy enough to
understandable.
grab.
Weapons
But I
she'll
can only
take,
assume
she
you're
will
not
do
really set
without
up.
the armor. It's gonna take
Um,
too long to put it on. She's going out in her skivvies with a spear like the old days.
Well, from your positioning at this table, you see the light, and then you see somebody standing outside.
Okay. I mean, I assume the light is trackable. It's familiar. It's Nyx's like tree portal thingamathing.
Probably.
It's that same like cast of light, I imagine. Um so at least that seems familiar, and then there's a presence outside and they haven't moved at all. Maybe
Well, it's
they're
been 6 seconds, so
it's been 6 seconds.
the light is faded.
Nana,
There's a person
eh,
there. That's the extent of it.
Nana will grab like whatever is by the door as she's going. She isn't going to go looking for any specific weapon. If there's a spear by the door, she grabs a spear by the door. If there's a dagger, it's a dagger. Whatever's there, grabs it and heads out.
Sure.
Just to have
I'll say you
something
can
in
grab
hand.
a spear and
Yeah.
walk outside.
Yeah.
You see Fen looks a bit bloodied now, just like hitting the kukri against the tree, trying to open it.
Fen, what's happened? If I've got movement left, I want to get to him.
Sure. I would say all of that is probably your 6 seconds, unless there was something else you wanted to do with like an action. But
As an action, I want to insight on Fen. I want to figure out best as I can from context clues and from what I can see from him what's happened.
roll insight.
Ay, come on, hun. In the town. All right.
This Fen takes a couple big overhand swipes with a kukri into the
I
tree
mean-
and then jabs it in and tries to pry it. Like,
Angie, we already read. Angie was we done been new. That is 17 total.
Okay. Fen has come through the tree, probably through this teleportation spell that Nyx uses.
Hmm.
And in a bit of a crazed fashion, seems to have not wanted that to happen. Now, there's a couple reasons maybe why he would feel that way, but I would say without context, there is a sensation, a familiar one, of not wanting to leave the forest and something in you that wanted you to stay. Maybe Fen is far gone. Maybe he is not. You don't have context.
Okay. I mean, she's
That's-
just gonna try and assess Fen. That's it. That's her turn.
Yeah. Fen wants to go back for whatever reason and is doing it in a way that presents to you as manic behavior.
Not exactly actionably helpful to his
Yeah.
situation.
But that is
Which
what
he's
is
usually
going
more
on.
present to realize. Yeah.
Roshan.
I think Roshan follows Nana and then is fully in the doorway slurping on a morning fruit smoothie and
Uh-huh.
just the dregs of it making that really obnoxious noise. and says, "Is everything okay out here?" And that's all he'll do.
We good?
You good?
Roshan comes out. After Roshan's turn, the grand pot and the ladle are also going to like come out of the house. They're going to kind of like slip past Roshan and step into the space. Also trying to assess the situation and probably can't get farther than whatever you were perceiving, Nana, but that is the end of their turn. Nix, you and Russ are going through a walk through the woods.
Yeah. I'd love to try polymorphing this man into a turtle.
Sure.
It's another wisdom save.
All right.
If not, I'm right here. Still piggybacking.
Yeah, you're stuck with him right now. Don't turtle this man. Let's see. He'd be one of those like little red box turtles.
Mhm.
That is another 18 on the dice, so it's a 20.
Oh.
We'll just keep waiting. We'll
What if
try.
I
it
thought it was a
maybe a
13 for a second and was
Spider-Man?
like, this man's a turtle, but he is
I
not.
have more spell slots. Don't worry.
Guys, every round something weird.
Yes, good.
The next one's a green turtle.
I just keep a different color idea. You and Russ keep moving. And there's a change in demeanor now that he is not actively being hunted. But not enough to like engage in conversation with you, it seems. Like he's not like talking to you. Sometimes he talks at the space, but it's mostly looking for deals, looking to just like, do I have to find you? And just keeps walking. He is going to. None of that is helpful. So he is just going to move another 80 feet away from that area. I don't think we can do much more besides move. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at his stuff again. Okay. Yeah. Russ keeps moving. He is looking for this. And you see that the trees that were like leaning in and kind of aggroing you, Nix, calm down. They're chill now. Hey, Keld, I'd love to just get in your head a little bit. And by that, I mean, what's Keld thinking about as he makes the choice to be like, I'm going to put this armor on. And hears the sounds of shouts in the woods. And then nothing.
Definitely feeling a little anxiety now.
Guys,
At
go back
least
to
he could like
shouting.
hear them for a while.
Yeah, you could hear him for a good minute, but now not so much.
Hmm. I think we're just trying to determinedly focus on putting on armor so I can get moving at least.
Okay. I'll talk to you again in a while.
We're trying not to dwell on it, you know?
Yeah. Okay. That is Russ's turn. Fen, you're at the tree. It won't fucking open.
Ben is just continuing to hack at this thing. He can kind of vaguely feel that there are people around him. Just get your mages, make them open it the way it came, make them open it back up. We need to go now.
You're
He
muted, Nana.
feels like somebody's trying to talk to him, but everybody seems speechless. So
What happened, Fen?
I don't have time to talk about it. I got beaten. We need to get back in there. They're in danger.
From whom?
From Russ,
All right,
from the woods.
that's y'all's turn. Not unless there's something else you want to do. You were actively in this man's turn, and you guys have the same initiative, so I was fine with it. But it's
Yeah. Nana hasn't got anything actionable to do except if we're gearing up to go back in, she's got to go in and get her armor. So I guess she's going in to get her armor.
10
I'll be out
more
in
minutes.
3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes. I'll be right out.
yeah, I was about to say leather armor is easier to put on, but it still takes
Yeah.
a chunk of time in combat.
I mean, she can like she can rush. She can rush, but only so much.
Yeah, you can put it on in a minute,
Okay.
you know, but that's a large number of rounds.
It is a large number of rounds, but
So Nana runs back inside.
How-
Roshan.
Roshan is going to also head back inside. I think he hasn't like unpacked very much, and so doesn't have much to pack, and won't put his armor on, but will for the next 6 seconds contemplate sending Nyx.
Just contemplating it.
Well, I don't think he knows. It's all happening so fast. He's only at 12 seconds, so I think he has to think what he. Also, I
Mission
don't know
speed.
that I don't know what I would ask yet, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna take a
Roshan
round to
takes a
figure it
minute
out.
to think about it. The grand pot and the ladle stay outside. The grand pot sort of steps forward. I'm sorry, no one here can do what Nyx can. Not like that. Not at that scale. I'm sorry.
Fen just probably turns around and kind of slumps against the tree and just cries. Like, eh,
and we
having
put-
heard that, he's out of ideas at the moment. He's got to think about it.
Okay. Nyx, it's your turn.
Green turtle.
Green turtle it is. Oops. Golly, I really wish I could like the angles. I'm like, I wish I could show you guys the 18 on the dice.
It really likes to roll high.
It's that same damn 18.
It's the
It's that
same
die.
18. Listen, I got like a nat 1 on one of those hold persons, and it wasn't fun for me. You watch as Russ is like it feels like he's starting to be bothered now. Starting to be bothersome. And anything else on your turn?
I think she just try to act like she's just relaxing there. Because it didn't work, and take a moment, because this is all she can think to do, because Kel's nowhere nearby.
Oh yeah, Keld.
just rambled to him.
You go ahead and give me either performance or deception to be really chill about what's happening. If you're trying to be like, I like being here, and what is it? It's all good.
I mean, it's all -1.
I mean, just because he has really good insight, but he's not looking at you. He's just also he's barely Russ, depending on your point of view.
Yeah, I think this Rust needs different stats.
Oh, I'm sorry, my
Hey.
bad.
Hey, the dice are kind. That's I said -1? Yeah, 17 for
All right.
performance. I'm super chill, guys.
I'm sure this is the 2 that you guys would have liked to put somewhere else, but he seems to not be aggroing against you. You also have not seen him aggro against you at all. Like, you did not see any of this directed at you, ever. And that still seems to be the case. As he hop, skips, and a jump forward. Do you know where? Do you know?
Not Kel is the best at being able to find her.
Oh. He does like a little 360. He's gone. I've got you.
Okay, great.
Yeah, he looked for Keld.
Yeah.
He looked for
I
him.
mean, he's back where we started, I think.
Oh, the smoke rallies in that direction. Please.
Now I'll just point in the direction of the smoke.
The smoke one. And you're sort of just mingled in with this smoke at this moment as you're like on his back and you're just kind of in this cloud with
This is
him.
great.
He sort of like looks at you. Kel shouldn't have to make it. He shouldn't have to. I'll do it. I can't do it again. I'm not going to do it again. And he is going to continue forward another 80 feet. Have you ever seen a calculator that doesn't know how math works? I think I have. Okay. That is Russ's turn. Fen is crying at the base of a tree. Anything else?
No, just head between his knees, crying.
Okay. Nana, you're inside putting on your armor. That's your, I will say, your second round of putting on armor.
Yep.
Roshan, you went inside, you contemplated, you can hear the gentle weeping of Fen outside. And Nana really trying to put on her armor quick, but you know, it takes time. Is there anything you'd like to do, or are you still kind of holding out?
I think Roshan's going to reach out to Nyx via sending and say, what's going on? Do you need us? We can be ready in 5 minutes.
Response?
Um, we're struggling. He's avoiding trees, right?
Yeah, he's trying his
Yeah.
best to avoid trees. Once again, it with 15 feet of a tree would be hard to avoid forever.
Yeah.
So there is a chance of that happening kind of frequently.
Don't know where Keld is. Trying to stop Russ. We'll reach out if you can help. That's it. Like, I have this ring. I can reach out if I think it's possible for them to do anything.
Yeah. It would be a lot more people. It would definitely be if, you know, Nyx has to weigh the pros and cons of it. Are they ready? Also, having, you know, 4 people jump through a tree and start picking this dude up and throwing him around. Helpful or hurtful. It depends on your point of view of it.
I can only open it one more time, so that's the real problem.
There's no rush.
Yeah.
You're just getting further away from Keld.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Held
Okay.
repeat softly.
Okay. You receive this response back, Roshan, and are like, you kind of put like the 5-minute timer in your head of like, you're like, I don't know what I got from that, but 5 minutes is my timer to be ready. And you know that if you're like, you went over and helped Nana, you could get armor on quicker if you wanted to, and things like that, depending on how you want to prepare. But as we come to the end of the round, I'm going to kind of focus in on you, Nyx. You are currently my focus. So would you like to maintain you and I going back and forth? Or would you like to wait the 5 minutes to see what happens? And then consider bringing in the battalion? Or you and I can go back and forth until we die.
I think she'd try the polymorph one more time
Which is fine because,
and then would wait the amount of time
all right.
for the backup.
Okay. So you're like, all right, one more shot. The thing is, it's not that you don't feel unsafe, but you don't feel, it's like you're in a weird middle ground of like, I'm not in danger from Russ. That is becoming very apparent to you. The forest, still bad, but is allowing Russ to move forward and seems to only react when you start getting the upper hand to try and keep Russ on track. So you're like, what's one more? What's one more shot? Let's see. Okie dokie. What color turtle is it?
Maybe
importance.
more of the like black with the green lines through it kind. No. Like that.
That's fun. It's a
Yeah.
nice turtle. Let's see. Just immediately crushes a turtle. So that would be a 19 on the dice. Thank you for making me these beautiful dice, Katie. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. Now you get to go on a walk in the woods with your husband.
Yeah.
Hey, cultists buy these great dice. They love to tell a
Hey,
story.
do you have dice that story? Well, by golly.
You want to murder your friends?
By
You want to make your
golly.
friends weep at the base of a tree? But I got dice
By
for
golly,
you.
these are the dice for you.
Nyx, you hold off.
I will wait because
So yeah,
5 minutes.
yeah. This man's moving at pace. God, the amount of distance away from Keld, who still, I do not think will be done at the end of this 5 minutes. Still be putting his armor on. By golly, I'm not doing the math. It's so far away. This man is so far from anybody else. But you're walking with Russ right now. Is there anything you wanted to do otherwise while you're moving through the space with him?
I think she's just trying to keep in her mind general direction of which way they went from Keld.
Okay. Give me a survival check if you'd be so kind.
14.
Okay. You probably can get a vague idea. I'll give you advantage if you want to really look into the forest and really try to figure out where you're going.
No, she has that ring on. It's fine.
Okay.
It points in the
okay.
general direction.
Yeah, you know the general direction of Keld perpetually.
It's fine.
And Russ moves through the space with you, and you can feel the smoke starting to wane. Like it grows tired. Like it can only do so much. And it's still present, but now it just seems to be kind of lackluster and in the space with you, kind of like you are at this moment, just along for the ride.
Just gotta wait.
It just it it picks up what you put down and is like, okay, we'll wait. And Russ is moving through the space and occasionally will like stop and look around. You don't have to hide. I don't want to fight. I just want to make one deal. Is that too much? Is one deal too much? And keeps pushing through the space. Moving 80 feet every 6 seconds. This dude is in full sprint while asking the forest what's up. Time begins to tick away. Is there anything the Dem Woods team is doing? Nana, your armor is on. People can pick up supplies if they're so inclined. You can be ready within 5 minutes. But is there anything you want to do besides that in these 5 minutes?
Is it evident to Fen that people think that we're going to be able to get through somehow? Because Fen doesn't realize that.
People are getting ready like they're going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Fen's going to ask around if anybody can heal him, like to the village people, whoever the village people, the village folk.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
Young man.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on, everybody. The ladle walks out in her firefighter outfit. Yeah, what's up, man? Do you need help?
I'm not feeling like such a macho man. Can you heal me?
That's no. She like leans over you and like gives you like a handkerchief for your weepy face, and she's
Little
gonna
schmutz
throw
off your
some.
cheek.
She's gonna throw a few heals at you because it's not like she doesn't use spell slots all the time. Ooh,
That a spicy
you
heal?
get 20 hit points back.
Hell yeah.
This is her putting down a couple spell slots, but
Every
nonetheless,
one of which
you
is
get 20
appreciated.
back. Yeah,
Mhm,
and she
mhm.
kind of is like, "Well, everyone gets ready. I'm gonna go get you a drink, just some water." And she goes in and gets you a container of water for you to drink from, and like
Oh.
when she's near you, she's kind of like doing like deep breaths, and it's almost like now I'm doing deep breaths. Like she just like she mentaled you into like breathing steady. Of
Thank you.
course. Anything from anybody else? You guys have 5 minutes. Nana, one of those is for armor, so
Yeah.
But you have the rest of it.
Roshan is immediately after hearing that Keld is alone, he's gonna chicken out Keld. And I think he asks Keld, "Are you okay?" Nyx is with Russ. Fen is here. Can you follow her? Is there anything we can do? That's it.
Stop.
Held, you're like half dressed with your armor at this point.
Mm.
He'll respond. I'm far behind them. I'm not sure the plan. Please help Nyx. I'll catch up.
That's what you receive.
Sweet. Roshan will let everyone know. We might be waiting here all day. I don't know what Nyx is going to do. Held is going to follow them. He seemed more worried about them than himself.
All right.
And then we'll continue gathering some granola and bananas or whatever we got
You're
here.
like, well, we have time to pick up the granola now that
Yeah.
they did spend time making this granola.
It's true. That was meant for the journey.
My
So
granola parents.
Nana's definitely got the jars in the bag on this, and she's made sure to replenish basic rations and things. I think I remember there weren't any potions in town, so
No,
wouldn't have been a
there are
thing.
no potions in town of the variety you want.
I'm
You could
trying
probably
to
find
remember.
somebody who makes potions, but not the ones you want.
I'm pretty sure that I have the Hat of Disguise back in my possession, or did that remain with somebody else I had lent it to?
I have no clue.
Oh, boy.
I default to things in the bag of holding, but
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's up to you if you think you would have shoved this large hat into your bag or if you would have put it in the bag of holding.
Large hat would have made more sense to go in the bag of holding, which is with y'all guys in the
Yes.
woods. So,
Yeah.
new, have not got that. Got it. Fine,
You
fine,
can make
fine.
your armor look like whatever you want.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing a funny thing, but never
Just
mind.
wanted to be silly.
No, I was thinking about maybe trying something that might be able to get Russ off of this track, but I don't have the thing, so I can't do the thing. Instead, no, I mean, it's like Nana's got her stuff geared up, and I mean, I don't know. I guess she has placed herself next to the tree. I don't know, just so that she's not inside, like picking up more things to take with us into the woods, because we need to stay light on our feet in order to be able to be mobile. And she can tell that her stuff is heavier than it should be, but she's not going to look into it too hard right now because we have to go. But also, she doesn't want to be inside adding more weight. So she's here by the tree.
Okay. 5 minutes has passed. Is somebody doing something? Nyx, the air here in the forest gets thicker. The hairs stand up on the back of your neck. You are very deep into these woods. You think, rapidly approaching something.
Fantastic. Then I will use the sending to Roshan and be like, tell me when you're ready and I'll open a tree.
You're muted?
and
It's fine.
at that point, I think we are ready. Nana is also muted.
Yeah, I think we've been standing at the ready. I think we're okay.
I can't see.
Yeah,
Um,
so in that case,
Brian.
that's true.
So Roshan will turn to Nana and Fen and give a nod and then look toward the parents and kind of shrug and then reply to Nyx and say, "We're ready now."
All right. The next possible second I can open a tree near me, I will do it.
Okay. He walks with you, and occasionally he like hums and kind of whispers to himself and then yells out to the forest and kind of addresses you, but not in a way that's very clear or and understandable fully. And of course, he's going to stumble next to a tree. Of course he is. It's a forest. Let's see how close we can get to a tree, shall we? Okay. He takes a step, you get within 10 feet of a sizable tree, because once again, it has to be the right size. So Nyx, what do you do?
I will open it immediately.
The tree splits in the center and peels itself open as light shines on either side as the tree viscerally reacting. It's almost like it tries to close as quickly as it can. Everybody roll initiative.
No, boy.
Everybody roll fucking initiative, my dude.
Oh,
Um,
damn.
Hey, Nyx. In my mind, I'm trying to think this out because it lasts for a round, correct?
Yes.
I would consider that your turn is opening this tree. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to be at the end of the initiative order.
Sure.
Because once we hit your turn, I'm closing
Yeah.
the tree.
That makes sense.
Okay. But Russ and Nyx are now within 10 feet of this tree. 20 and higher.
21.
I should
That's
roll
what I rolled.
Yeah.
Well, damn. We both fucking ready.
Except I'm at the end.
Yeah. But that's
So-
fine. We're kind of in the same sort of initiative spot if you think about it, because if you're at the end, I'm at the beginning, it's just the continuum.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're just both first.
Y'all's highest person is 21. Okay.
Oh no. I guess maybe not.
Okay. 15 to 20. Perfect. Um, 5 to 10. I've already forgotten where I am in space. Who's next?
It's 13.
Okay.
10 to
And
13.
8.
Nyx is putting herself at the end of the initiative. You said you had 21, right? Is there a movement or bonus action you would have liked to have done? Because I'll allow that because you did get like a turn.
And I'm on his back, so no for the movement. Once again, my bonus actions are healing word and spreading spores. So no.
Okay. And for this, I will go to the end of your turn, Nyx.
Yeah.
That will be the round to get this last use of this tree.
I guess I would make sure that we were not like looking at it, like we had already walked past it type
Okay.
of thing.
It's the tree behind him.
Yeah.
So 10 feet behind him, this tree opens up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll a perception check because Russ is first in the initiative. If he sees this tree open up, y'all have a harder problem, a much harder problem to solve. Nyx, is there anything you do that do you want to add to this, or it's like, hey, just we're popping off? Or is there some sort of free action, something you say, something you want to do?
Oh, could I be loudly humming this weird song with him so he maybe doesn't hear the whooshing?
Sure. I'll get honestly, because first off, this man having a mental terrible time, eyes cloudy as the day is long, smoke cloud around his head, you humming in his ear. I will give him disadvantage. He has pretty good perception, but he will have disadvantage. What does that add up to? He notices, but he notices a bit into his turn. So it's like he loses some time where he could have reacted fully. He only gets to react some, as the light kind of reflects off of a tree in front of him. And he looks at it and then looks back and turns focus forward. We're moving, baby. He is only going to get his movement of 40 feet instead of being able to add a bunch of shit onto that. He is 50 feet from the tree. Nana, it's your turn. Let's pop off. Fen, you are next on deck.
Sprinting through the open hole in the tree and taking in the situation wherein Russ is 40 feet a fucking way. No, 50 with the extra 10 feet behind. Nana is probably gonna have to sprint in order to catch up. Yep. Normal movement speed 40. So yeah, she's gonna run after Russ and Nyx. Here we go.
Okay. Any bonus actions?
Bonus action, she will use she'll use Hunter's Mark. Cast that spell so that she can try and keep her sights on Russ. Getting within, I move 80 feet with my sprint total.
Would you like to get next to him or ahead of him? I need to know now.
I'll get ahead.
Okay. You run ahead of him.
Yep.
You square up a few feet away in front of him.
Yep.
Okay.
Didn't want this to happen again, but here we are.
And you see Russ's eyes focus in on you. You know how this goes. And immediately reaches for the Morning Star, like
Here
letting
we
go
go.
of one of Nyx's legs.
We don't have to.
Nana, immediately, like a gut punch, you're back in the fucking woods. It is as if a chokehold has been grabbed on you once again.
Oh,
Here you are. Fen, you are up.
good. Great.
Could I have, we jumped into this a little faster than I was thinking. Could I have retconned working with the villagers to do something prior to this? The
Maybe.
people of Demwoods.
Took 5 minutes.
Yeah. The plan was I have a rope with a grappling hook on it. I bought a grappling hook.
Mhm.
I want to throw this at him using my accuracy for the throw and have them pull him through when it sets.
I'll allow it. You have a couple people there to help, mostly the Platt family and a couple of nearby other people. I'll allow it. The door's
Okay.
still open, so they can
All right.
help. They were just
So-
kind of standing in space. So yeah, sure.
So they've got the end of the rope. Fen steps through and makes an attack roll to throw this grappling hook
Yeah.
onto Russ. Is he wearing his armor?
He is not wearing his armor, but he
Oh,
has
this is gonna hurt Russ.
stuff.
But-
Yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a little.
Lasso him.
And also, he has Nyx on his back, so let's see how this goes.
Well, I mean, they would
There
have
is
to like
still
throw
yeah,
around
no, no,
him
no.
and like into the front, like so.
yeah. If you hit right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
All right.
roll.
What kind of just a ranged attack?
Yeah, it's just a ranged attack.
Okay.
Just throw that thing. Just grapple.
An 11 on the dice plus 4 dex. Do I get proficiency with that? I have proficiency in, like everything.
I would assume. I'm just gonna give it to you.
Right.
You used this grappling hook to save you from getting destroyed by trees earlier. I'm gonna assume you're so good at this thing.
All right, so it's 15 plus what even is my proficiency anymore? Where are we at, guys, on proficiency? Because I can't read the D&D beyond sheet.
+5.
+5. So dirty 20.
This grappling hook flies through the air, through the forest, and catches on fully up and under this man's like into his armpit. Like it kind of like catches into him here. The best place it can make purchase for this moment. And I suppose the readied action of the people of the village are gonna go against Russ and his strength. So I will give the village as a group I'm going to give them a +5. They are going to be rolling with advantage because they outnumber Russ a lot at this moment. Russ also has weight on his back. So Russ is just kind of at a bit of a disadvantage in not being pulled. The amount of distance between his roll and their roll, if they win, will decide how far he is pulled. So if they only beat him by 1, probably not as far, but they beat him by a lot more. We'll see what it is. So they'll roll with advantage. He will roll with disadvantage for his circumstances. Okay. Russ's roll. Okay. With a nat 20 from the people of the village. They, at the head of this line, the grandpot wraps his arm around the rope.
All together, comrades!
And tells them to pull. And so that's 25. So it's not that much higher than what Russ rolled, to be fair, but I will honor a nat 20 when it need be honored. Russ is going to get yanked. And Nyx, you can either roll to stay on or like let yourself fall off.
She needs to make sure he goes there. So I think she'd stay on.
Yeah. Nyx, you're able to, like, it's not like it's doing anything, but you like have a hand on the rope, like, okay, we're going.
Where are we going?
You know what? We leave it to dice. Okay. Russ is now 20 feet from the opening of the tree as he is pulled back 30 feet, stumbling backwards. Are we prone? No. He stumbles back. He's 20 feet from the tree. Anything else, Fen? The villagers were acting on your turn.
Fen is going to use his movement to get in front of Russ. Like, so if he were to run directly away from the hole in the tree, Fen's going to use his movement to get in front of him there, and bonus action to put the immovable rod there, so he can't run straight forward. Like, he's going to have to like go one way or the other to
Okay, so
not...
you are stepping directly in front of him and are
Yeah.
like, here's this.
Yeah, here you go.
Go
Like,
around me
yeah.
and my pull-up bar.
Yeah, and a little bit of backup so like he doesn't get stunned immediately again. Like, because immovable rod in front of me.
Okay. That is Fen's turn. Now, Roshan, do we still sound awful and bad to you?
No, I can hear you now.
Oh, that's great. Because y'all are running out of turns. It's your turn.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah,
And Russ is 25
20
feet from...
he is 20
20
feet
feet.
from the tree. Yeah.
Well, if only I had... Does anyone else still have a turn?
Nyx.
But it closes on my turn.
It'll close at the end of your turn.
Okay. Um, Roshan's got no way to move him. So, I think has the same thought as Nyx and will try to cast Polymorph on him. And this time, a really cool snail.
Hmm.
My save
Okay.
is not as good as Nyx. It's only 18. So if he keeps rolling like a bastard.
Yeah. Once again, Russ, not good at wisdom. Certainly wasn't this good when the forest was rotting his brain. Certainly wasn't rolling good enough for that. But now, instead of
So
doesn't want
now
to
he's
turn into
away.
a little animal. But what's your save?
18.
18. So he needs a 16 or higher.
We've only tried this a few times.
Okay. What does this snail look like?
Oh, hell yeah. I think the snail's got like a colorful shell, and is
Red speckles.
like yellow in body, not brown.
Okay. Anything else for Sean? So I got to talk to Nyx about something in a hot second.
Um, can I can't object interaction and throw him, can I?
You could object interaction to pick him up. It's going to make a roll
Yeah.
I was about to do happen a little quicker, but you're welcome to like walk over and pick up a snail and move it.
Yeah, yeah, I think I'll go over and just like palm this snail so it's easy to grab if somebody else wants it, and then look to Nyx like,
Okay, so I'm going to backtrack exactly 1 second. Nyx, roll me a luck check. As you are on the back of a snail.
Oh. Oh, was
With
she
one
still
hit
attached?
point. Yeah, she
was
stayed
on
on.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
18.
That's
Okay.
lucky.
Much
That's
better than the
very
two from earlier.
That's true. The duality of luck checks.
Yeah.
Nyx,
No
as the form shifts under you, you are able to like, you're like, I will kill a snail if I land on it, which then means it'll just be Russ again. And that's much harder to move. But Nyx, you're able to kind of get your footing as like his body begins to shift downwards. You kind of like lean back and step and you grab the grappling hook and pull it with you. So it also just doesn't slam down on the snail. And you step back and Roshan picks up this snail and like looks at you. Nyx, it's your turn. This snail immediately is like, it looks like it's going. This snail's going.
God.
The snail immediately starts moving on this hand. It's going.
Throw him.
I'm not throwing him. He can try to run back into the woods if somebody's not holding him down.
Right, Nyx, what are you doing?
Just go up to the tree and throw him through. He can't make it back in time.
But he can still run into the woods from there, is the problem.
Have
He's
your
already
family
in the woods
sit on
here.
them.
So there's only
Hey,
one.
Sit on him.
No more discussion. Nyx, what are you doing? It was all a discussion with eyes, like, throwing.
She wouldn't throw him. That's the thing.
So what are you
She
doing,
went-
Nyx?
I think she's running through this tree with this snail because she
Okay.
wouldn't leave him alone.
Okay. Nyx goes back through the tree. Are you staying on that side? You have plenty of movement to go through and then go back through again.
think she'd stay. When I take the snail, can I drop the ring to help them find Keld with? Like, swap, grab snail,
Yeah, sure.
so they can at
Why
least
not?
find him.
Okay. Roshan, a different ring is placed into your hand, trading a snail for this ring. And it kind of takes your brain a minute to, catch on to what's happening as you watch Nyx run through, look back, and the tree closes. And that's where we're going to stop for today. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story. Kel, don't worry, we'll get to you at the top of the next session, I promise.
We're just playing jumping
if-
beans here.
If you'd like to see how we got to this place, you can head over to youtube.com/the Dice Cult and watch all past episodes of On the Backs of Gods, including other D&D games, one-shots, Vampire the Masquerade, conversations that we've had with each other, all sorts of fun things. If you go to the chat or the boxes below, you can go follow a link to get some beautiful dice that you can see refuse to be polymorphed until the very end. So if
Till
you're
the
interested
very
in,
end.
if you're interested in those dice,
Maximum
by all
drama
means.
dice is what these are, ladies and gentlemen. Maximum drama dice.
If you'd like to keep us up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. If you'd like to keep up with all of us, we are at the Dice Cult on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you all so much for being here. We appreciate it and love telling you guys a story. We'll be here same time, same place, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, cultists.